some other guys off the bench as the game went on towards the end?
Well, I just thought that was the group that gave us the best chance to win the game, and obviously they turned a 10-point deficit into a 7-point lead, and I thought Casey made a great play on the ball. Unfortunately, it turned into a tee and a 4-point play, possibly a 6 or 7-point swing, and those guys were out there battling their hearts out and giving us every chance to win the game. So I just rolled with the guys that I felt gave us the best chance, and they played great. Again, when you on the road, have a 17-point swing, and I didn't like our start in the second half. Obviously, that's where I felt we lost the game. So put that group in. They got us back into it. Casey was great. I thought CJ was phenomenal. Bryce obviously continues to grow and play at an elite level. And then Derek, you got your guy out there that's been giving us unbelievable minutes, and Kobe, playing off those guys as well. So that was the reason I rolled with that group. Again, just because of the way that they were playing together, and had a stretch that got us back into that game.
With the late game struggles you guys have had, is it important to find closers?
Yeah, we're running a lot of the actions that are giving us success, and that's what we talk to our guys about all the time, is continuing to run the actions, especially early. You look at our starts, we've been phenomenal early in games on the offensive end, and we've got movement. Over the course of the game, you look for things to get you going, and we felt we had that with the ball in Bryce's hands. He did a great job making a couple pocket passes to Derek against Michigan's ice defense, and we hit a couple threes off that. Derek got to the rim on that, so we kept running those actions, and unfortunately we couldn't get it in the hoop. The last couple minutes, defensively, Hunter Dickinson, we were going to play him one-on-one. We took the three-pointer out of the game for Michigan, and they hit 15 of those the first time around. It's just one of those things. You got to find a way to get a win. I've talked about this, pretty much every time I've sat in this room, of getting confidence by getting over the hump and finding a way to win. And we've played well enough. This last stretch, we just got to find a way to get one and know we can do it.
What can Casey learn from that moment?
Well, listen, Casey is one of the most passionate guys I've been around, and he went in there and made a great play, swarming the ball. Unfortunately, it happens, especially on the road. You're going to have some of those calls, and you just got to stay poised through that. I thought there was a similar situation in the first half where they had a player that did almost the exact same thing, and it wasn't called. But that's neither here nor there. So just again, got to keep your poise in that situation. They make their two, and instead of being a 5-point game, they cut it all the way down to 3. They make it a one-possession game on that stretch. But as far as Casey's passion, I'm never going to take that away from him. It's what makes him who he is as an undersized, guard, because of the way he approaches everything. And I love the kid, and again, we'll never take his passion away.
I think Northwestern's been in about as many close games as any team in the country.
Yeah.
The last few games come down to the wire for you guys. Are you anticipating this being another one where the final 4 minutes or so?
Yeah, they're playing really well. Chris has got those guys. They had a 24-point second-half lead against Rutgers. Give Rutgers credit for continuing to go back, find a way to get that game into overtime, and then give Northwestern credit for keeping their poise and finding a way to get the win. But they've had a couple of great wins. At Michigan State was a huge win. Not many people go into that building and win. They had a chance to beat Michigan on the road, and really all their games. Illinois, that was a very close game. So yeah, they're playing a lot of them, a lot of close ones. But this team has everything. They've got size, they've got skill, they shoot it really well with their guards, and they're an elite rebounding team. They're second in the Big Ten in offensive rebounds, which obviously is an issue for us. So we just have to go out there and play really solid across the board and play consistent for 40 minutes. And if you look at, I think we played them 3 times since I've been here. We had a shot to tie it the first game. I think we went 8 for 28 the second game from the line and lost in overtime. And then last year they tipped one in at the buzzer to beat us. So, we've played close games, and both of us have been in a lot of close games this year.
What are you seeing out of Bryce right now, Fred? It looks like the lights coming on inside him every game.
Yeah, he's really figuring out the physicality aspect in this league. And I think it was a little bit of a shock to him, which it is for every freshman that comes into this league. But, what he's doing right now, the streak that he's on, I think 4 consecutive 20-point games, 18 free throw attempts against a very good Rutgers team, excuse me, obviously put the ball in his hands a lot because we trust him in that situation against Michigan. He's just continuing to go out there every game and get better and better. We're posting him up a little bit now, giving him that mid-post area where either we'll give him an ISO or go set a little logo pick-and-roll ball screen, and he's just making great decisions out of it. So he's guarding better. I think a big thing, and you can talk to Bryce, he'll be the first one I think to tell you, he's really bought into not just the minimum amount of lifts, but he's lifting on game days now. And he understands how important that is to be able to play through contact, which they bodied him up early and I think took him out. I think it was a surprise to his to his system. So he's just really bought into everything that it takes to be able to play through the physicality in this league, and he's just obviously been phenomenal.
You've been around a lot of NBA guys. Iowa State, obviously, the NBA. What kind of game is this game compared with some of those guys?
Yeah, he's pretty unique in the players that I've coached. He's got everything you're looking for at that level. He's got great length. He's he's wiry, strong. He's like I said, he's done a great job absorbing contact, and that's going to continue to get better and better as his body evolves. He's got an effortless shooting stroke. He struggled early, obviously, but the way he's shooting the ball this last stretch shows you what he's capable of doing. He can shoot it from deep, and he does a great job getting to the free throw line. That's a big thing. All the teams in the NBA, they've got draft formulas, they've got analytics guys, and free throw attempt rate is a huge part of that formula. So he's got everything you're looking for. And, I know a lot of guys that I've talked to, feel very highly about Bryce and his future.
Is he the best freshman in the Big Ten?
I think if you look at his numbers, obviously there's some really good ones out there across the board. But, I'd obviously bias here, but I'd take Bryce over anybody.
What kind of challenge does Pete Nance present you guys?
Yeah, he's very athletic. 44% three-point shooter. So he gives a different look than what we've seen recently. We've been playing a lot of the low post, strong bigs that you worry about in the block. Nance does a little bit of everything. Leading this team in scoring, rebounding, blocks. And to be able to step out and knock down shots makes you adjust your coverages. So just got to make him take tough ones. That's the biggest thing with Nance. But these kids having a heck of a year.
You mentioned that at the Michigan game, that they tired legs, playing role late with the rebounding stuff. How can you guys, what does it take to mentally overcome the physical?
Yeah, I mean, we actually, going back and looking at it, we hit them. They kind of reached over top of us on a couple of those late plays. We turned our head on a post feed and a cut. That's just, it can't happen. We did a great job all game long in that one possession. We turned our heads, and Eli Brooks beat us on a cut. It was Devontae Jones beat us on a cut to the basket. They get the big offensive rebound late, and, you got to make those plays. I don't think it had anything to do with tired legs. It was just, we hit on that rebound. They just, again, went over top of us and turned our head on that cut. So, just going back, again, when you have a group that's out there that's playing, the best that you played all night, you roll with those guys and you keep them going. So I don't think it was a fatigue thing with them, but they give Michigan credit. They made a couple good plays at the end.
Fred, Casey's only attempted one three-pointer over the past 4 games. Is there a reason why?
Well, his minutes have gone down is part of it. We ran one to make sure he got it in the ATO last game, and he's on. I'm telling you, when you play shooters like him, he's one of the top guys you're talking about, probably after Bryce, on the scouting report and how you're going to guard him. And teams are staying closer to Casey right now. I think he's turned down a couple as well. And I think sometimes, going back in my experience, when you're a shooter and you're going through some struggles, you're thinking out there, and you can't think and shoot. It's impossible to think and play this game. It's hard enough just going out and playing. So, for him to have the type of game that he did, I think was huge for his confidence, and certainly one he can build on.
After seeing you guys play a string of close games, where do you think you guys have made progress in that area?
Well, again, we're giving ourselves a chance, Jimmy, and the biggest thing, we got to find a way to close it. We've had some good looks that we haven't knocked down, and we've had some poor possessions as well in that stretch. But a couple games ago, we had 2 wide open threes at the end of the game. We just didn't knock them down. Again, I think it was the Indiana game. So, just got to keep in these situations, hopefully knock some shots down, and again, get a win and know we can do it.
Fred,
just,
week after week? Like, what do you tell them without sounding like a broken record?
yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is you look for stretches over the course of the game where maybe it doesn't get to the last couple possessions. And the last game against Michigan, to have a 7-point halftime lead and then, to have a 17-point turnaround, and now you dig yourself a 10-point hole. You withstand that. Don't give them that run. We go out there and build on the lead. It doesn't get to the last couple minutes. So there's always stretches of the game, always crunch time is magnified. But, when you look at those stretches over the course of the game, that's what lost the game the other night, was those first 6 minutes of the second half. And then we had the group in there that got us back into it, had a 17-point turnaround on our own. But you got to find a way to play through those runs, because every night you're going to go through them. And the adversity and how you handle it will define if you're going to have a chance to win it. We righted the ship with that group, a lot of bench guys. But that first part of the second half is what lost that game.
But I know it's been frustrating for this team, the stretch you're on right now. But also, I think, for being honest, some of the fans, their patience is being tested. What do you have as a message to them, hoping that they show up tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is. There's not one person in this program that doesn't have frustration with not being able to get over the hump and get some wins. One thing I'll tell you is these guys are continuing to go out there and battle. They're practicing hard, which I know doesn't mean anything, but they're not laying down. They're continuing to go out there and give us a chance. We just got to find a way to get confidence to know that we can win these games. And it's the single most important thing, is winning close ones. And I've talked about it in the past. When you have those teams that have the confidence to know you can win, it's a beautiful thing. And right now we just have to find a way to get over the hump. Believe me, I know this business. I know what it's all about. You have to win at the end of the day. That's the only thing that's important. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep going out and practicing and preparing, and hopefully give ourselves a chance to win. Our schedule, we have not played a team in league yet with a sub-500 record, and we knew January was going to be a grind. So, again, we've had plenty of chances. We just got to find a way to get over the hump.